I'm Zach Snyder.
And I'm Aden Matthews.
And welcome back to another YouTube podcast, the one-stop shop for anything and everything related to YouTube.
You know, every time we do this intro, and I've never admitted it before, but I figured now would be a good episode too. I always worry that I'm going to mess up my own name at the start, and we'd have to re-record it. It hasn't happened yet, granted, but I get nervous every time it's about to happen. I'm like, oh, just please remember your name. Just don't mess it up.
Just don't mess up.
Yeah.
It's like when you're at school and you have to be like, here, and or I'm present, or whatever, whatever you say, because the teacher's calling you for roll, and you're like, please don't mess it up.
Yeah, please just come on.
I think
they were pretty good about my name.
Yeah,
they got Aden.
Well, I mean, like you were anxious about not messing up saying here or whatever.
Sure.
Did you ever get that?
Sometimes.
Elementary school
mainly, and then after that, substitutes were the only one who really did it, because most homeroom teachers would memorize your name by like the third class. Yeah. And then they could just look around and be like, oh, they're all here. Cool.
Yeah.
But no, in elementary school and substitute teachers, they'll go down that fucking road. They'll take their sweet ass time.
Yeah.
Like, is Aden here? I'm like, yes. I didn't hear that. It was who? And I'm like, yes, I'm here. Thank you. Move on.
I got in the habit of, in college, last like 2 years, like when a teacher would call me, I'd just be like, yo. And the teacher would be like, huh? Like, are you here? Like, right here.
Like, just mess around with them a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Give them a little challenge in their day. Throw a little curveball. So
today's episode is going to be a little different, or a lot different, depending on what you're used to here, because we don't really have a main topic going in today. It's not really that we were lazy and didn't come up with a topic. That's not it at all.
That's part of the reason.
That's part of the reason, but also because I've been personally thinking about a lot of different YouTube stuff. It's getting close to my 1 year anniversary on Zack Snyder Productions.
Yay!
And so I'm thinking about some changes. I'm thinking about some experiments. I'm thinking about all these different things. I'm thinking about some big picture things outside of YouTube. I'm thinking about what I want to do with this podcast. And I just kind of wanted to discuss with Aden about it. And we have a couple of hours to talk, and I thought instead of not putting out an episode today, which we could have done, we could just record the discussion. I thought that might be cool. So hopefully you guys will like it.
If you guys are a fan of episode 2 of the podcast where we talked about school, it's going to kind of be like that episode, where it's mainly just the flow of the conversation. The other thing we should point out, too, is that we won't be doing all of our main segments. So if you were expecting your comment to get read today, we will read it on the next one. Don't worry about it. If you were expecting a long hour your week on YouTube, you're probably going to get it, but not in the form you expect. We'll probably bring up parts of our week, but not in the normal way that we do things. And the main topic will just be a discussion. A topic could come out of this, and we could spend a long time talking about something, but we're not pressuring ourselves today. We're going to have a little me day, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Little podcast me day. And hopefully you all enjoy it. Enjoy the conversation, everybody.
Hopefully you get some value out of this too. That'd be really dope.
Yeah, 100%.
So the first thing so for those on the audience and for Aden, I've been kind of an intern under Roberto Blake for a few months now, since October.
Queen.
Wow. That's almost a year. Shit. Okay, cool. So I've been working with him for like almost a year. Haven't done a whole lot with him. Mostly been doing like articles here and there for him. I got that job last week, which is really dope.
Pretty fire.
I posted it in the Facebook group that I'm in with that group, and Roberto messaged me telling me congratulations on that. Tangential to that, Gary Vaynerchuk posted on Twitter and social media, and I need to send this to you because you might like this. he also sent on his what's called First in Line. He has this like text message group thing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's pretty dope. Basically, for the audience, and I might do this sometime in the future because I think it's pretty cool. Basically, what he does is he gets your phone number, and then he like texts you shit throughout the year, and like it's usually something like, "Hey, I'm doing this cool giveaway. Go check out this short little video and whatnot. It's pretty cool, whatnot, you know." Or here's this little like, what else has he done? He's sent people like happy birthday.
Early access stuff.
That's pretty cool.
Mainly.
Early access stuff. So if you want to get like super in depth with that kind of stuff. Also, like I got this new book coming out, all that kind of stuff. Okay, so I get a text message from Gary V when I wake up one morning, and it's like this 86. That's not a good. It's a very long link, but it's fine. It's this very in depth. It's this 86 page like PowerPoint presentation of his content model. So
wow.
It's like exactly how he puts out content. And Gary Vaynerchuk, for you guys that don't know, like he is growing rapidly on YouTube. I mean, he didn't have 1 million subscribers a couple months ago. Now he has 1.5 million subscribers. He's going to hit 10 million before a couple of years. Like I absolutely see it. He's been big on social media over the past couple of years, just kind of growing and growing and growing. And he's not only big on social media, but like this guy's a millionaire. He's got, you know, like these multi-million-dollar businesses and whatnot. Definitely look him up if you're interested in entrepreneurship and all that kind of stuff.
The way he describes it typically is he's a CEO and a businessman first, and then the whole Gary V personality, as far as all the content and stuff is concerned. And you got to keep in mind, not only does he run his own company and everything, but he's invested in a lot of things like Twitter in the early days, you know, stuff like that.
Twitter, Facebook, Uber.
All that sort of thing.
All
so
these things. Yeah.
Very much is kind of like in touch with not just like the future or predicting things, but with our attention and where he thinks we're going to go next. And usually he's right on a lot of that. He was big on Anchor before we were. That's kind of why we talked about Anchor on this podcast. Remember, we got all big about it. He's talked a little bit about IGTV. We've done the same thing. You know, me and Zach at the very least try to be at least somewhat like Gary V when we give our advice and try to help you guys out. Just because we both think like, dude's super smart and talented. If we could get like a bit of that off onto ourselves, then we'd be in a pretty great space right now, honestly.
Exactly. Basically, I found Roberto Blake in late 2016 when I was trying to figure out how to get better at YouTube related stuff, because he has Roberto Blake, he does some YouTube related content, but he's also really big on like Photoshop and creator centered stuff and all these different things. He's very similar, except he's more creator heavy, but also has his own business and doing really well there. But I found Roberto Blake. He talked about Gary Vaynerchuk. Then I started watching Gary V, and he got me like pumped to do all this other stuff, which got me like, Gary V was talking about, like, if you want to work with people, if you're trying to get like freelance opportunities or you want to work with people or whatnot, you got to go on social media, you got to DM people, whatnot, and all that kind of stuff. And then I DM'd Roberto Blake on Twitter and then got the opportunity to work with him. And so it's kind of like these two guys are kind of like the cornerstones of almost my like mentors right now.
Sure. And here's the thing too that I figured I'd mention as well. All of the stuff that you're bringing up right now and all the stuff that you're mentioning before ZSP, correct? Mm-hmm. All of it was before Zack Snyder Productions really did kick into gear. Even like some of the stuff you were finding around the time Sabijan Games was a thing, when you were doing vlogs on Sabijan Games, all this sort of stuff. And so you can see like a little bit, and you personally, just sort of that shift from Sabijan Games to ZSP. Like, yes, there was a lot of creative things, obviously, But part of me sees a little bit of the Roberto Blake, Gary Vee mindset and how ZSP has come to be what it is.
I think so.
And especially with the freelance opportunities, like you mentioned, that's 100% you just picked up from there, like piece by piece.
Yeah, it's it actually won 2016. It was 2017. It was all 2017. I realized that I hardcore realized that was really what I wanted to do, was kind of be this creator and, you know, make it my career. But then even 2018, even last couple months, I've kind of tapped into realizing, whoa, I've kind of been like a natural entrepreneur my whole life. Like, I wanted to do, like, I wasn't allowed to watch Pokemon as a kid. Like, we talked about this before, but I had friends that would like give me Pokemon cards. And like, I knew I wasn't allowed to keep them, but like, I'd go home anyways with them. And my dad would be like, you know, you can't have those. And I was like, yeah, I know, but I'm going to sell them. Like, like I was like selling candy bars for like band and stuff. And I got to the point where like band season was over, but I went to like the Sam's Club and bought like a pack of candy bars and continued selling them and said they were banned for band and continued making some money. Like I didn't realize it myself, but I've always kind of like had some entrepreneur spirits. But kind of getting into kind of being forced in this position where, okay, I've got 2.5 months, college is over, I got 2.5 months in this part-time job. After it's over, I either have to be fully self-sufficient on freelance opportunities, my own content, or I got to get some other kind of job, right?
Right. Some other way to pay bills.
Exactly. And so, and I realized, like, theoretically, like, I could do, or I have to go back to college and finish my degree.
Oh yeah, that too, I guess.
That's an opportunity. Sure.
You could strip for money if you really
I could strip for
money.
money. There you go. I could be a prostitute. You know, there's limited options. I mean, there's unlimited options, right? But I realized, like, the content, like, it's going to take a long time. That's a big, that's like a long-term goal thing, right?
Right.
But freelance opportunities, I realized how quickly I could make it happen if I just kind of like work at it every day.
True.
So
whenever you can reach it, really.
Right. And we should do an episode on freelancing.
I agree wholeheartedly.
That's a good episode.
That'd be a great topic in general, especially if you're into doing content creation full time. Granted, a lot of us are working or doing college or something else, but even in that scenario, you can feasibly get some freelance opportunities and sort of build a resume or, you know, intern around.
Absolutely.
Do all sorts of stuff, you know. And that's just an acquired skill in general, not even for YouTube, but just life, you know.
Because the problem right now with being a small YouTuber is that making money as far as ad revenue, or being a YouTuber in general, living off of ad revenue is very, very difficult. Near impossible. Even if you're a big YouTuber, you have to be doing something else, whether that's brand deals, which you have to have a following for first, whether that's merch, which you kind of have to have a following first, whether that's affiliate marketing, you kind of have to have a following first, right? So it's
Patreon,
right? Freelance is really something that you kind of can jump into really early if you have a skill, which if you're working on YouTube making videos and you feel like you're at that level where you're making competent enough videos, you have a skill that you can market. Probably
multiple skills, actually, if you're doing everything by yourself.
I mean, I'm doing multiple gigs right now, so it's definitely possible.
Sure. I agree. It just depends on what you've learned and how long you've been doing things and stuff like that.
Exactly. So backpedaling to the Gary Vee slideshow presentation thing, right? It's like 86 pages. It's called his content pyramid. Essentially, he does a daily vlog every single day. Most days he has every single day he has somebody follow him with a camera. They vlog his entire day as far as like everything that he wants to be vlogged, and then they edit it up and they call it a vlog. Then there's keynotes every once in a while. They also put those up as vlogs, and
Ask Gary V, stuff like
Ask
that.
Gary V, and then sometimes he does like interviews and all that kind of stuff. So, but his like he has like a key show that he does every single day. That's usually his vlog. He takes that one piece of content and he breaks it up into multiple pieces of content for these different social media platforms. And that's what this like power. Sorry, I just ate, so like indigestion. It's very much a thing.
It hits you in waves. It
really
takes like
does.
one shot at a time.
I tried to eat like 4 hours ago, and I was like, Damien, you trying to go get some food at 10:30 a.m.? He was like, yeah. He was like, let's do it at 11 a.m. I was like, cool. 11 a.m. hit, and I was like, you trying to go get some food now? He was like, let's do it in like 30 minutes. I was like, all right, that's fine. 11:30 hit. He's like, sorry, I'm trying to work on something. Hour and a half later, I'm like, oh my goodness. But it's all good.
It's all good.
We here.
You got it.
We fine.
We're making it.
We making it. So
Real ones.
his content strategy is to take one piece of content and basically turn it into 30 plus pieces of content.
Sure. Starting from the top and then working it into smaller pieces.
Right. So what this means is little video snippets with captions. We've got little quotes on pictures. We got GIFs. We got memes.
Memes.
We've got Snapchat stories and Instagram stories. We've got articles. People transcribe the videos, read them back to him. He puts a little more input into it. They put them on articles. This kind of content. The crazy thing is, about 2 to 3 weeks before he released this, I did about an hour and a half live stream going through all of his different social media platforms and reverse engineering his content strategy and basically figuring this out.
Before he just gave it to everybody.
Just gave it to everybody for free. So that's cool.
Nice.
But it's all good. It's all here. It's really nice and pretty. I'm going to try to remember to put this in the description and the show notes for you guys.
I'll try to remind them. For sure.
Definitely.
There's a lot of good shit.
Yeah. But Gary Vaynerchuk, if you don't know who he is, I definitely highly recommend checking him out. Long story to get to a point, but
I was wondering where
it's been
that
a long
was.
week. It's been a long week. So Gary posts this. Couple days pass. Roberto Blake calls me through Facebook, like chat thing.
Okay.
I haven't spoken to Roberto yet. This is the first time I've actually like spoken to him on a call.
You got to hear the sexy Roberto Blake voice.
I did. So I was like a little nervous. Not gonna lie.
Oh, sure.
Because I was just like, oh wow, this is crazy.
Big YouTube hours.
Yeah, I mean he's got over 30K subs. But even more, just like I highly respect the dude, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So like he calls me, and long story short, we talked for like 2 hours, like all kinds of stuff. But long story short, he wants to pay me to do some articles for him because he saw this particular piece of content as well, and he wants to start putting out articles every week.
Sure. And you were already kind of doing that for him.
Right. I was already doing it fairly, like, every once in a while, but he wants to make it frequent.
Ramp it up a bit.
Right.
Fair enough, my dude.
So
makes sense to me.
There's that. The point that I was getting... Yeah, so there's that. The point that I'm getting to is that also Roberto's been talking a lot lately about variety channels being dead.
Right.
And so I wanted to talk to you about this.
And we've discussed it before in our variety and niche episode in particular. And basically, if you haven't seen that one, the consensus of that was just like, we both enjoyed doing variety. But even in that episode, we mentioned that niche is probably a lot stronger in terms of like getting your shit out there and growing a lot quicker.
Right.
Stuff like that.
But it seems like even not a whole, it's not even like, seems like not even on the whole like growing a lot quicker thing. It seems like on the growing at all thing.
What do you mean?
It seems like the variety channels as a whole, as far as experiments that he's been doing and other people have been doing, and there's not a whole lot of data on this yet.
Right. This is all sort of theory at the moment.
This is theory crafting a little bit. But it looks like that variety channels are, because for small channels, if you're doing a vlog one day and then you put up a piece of music content and then you put up a gaming video and then a movie review, you're confusing the algorithm so much. You know what it is? It's the subscribers. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. Because YouTube is not sending all of our videos to all of our subscribers like they used to.
Fair. Yeah. That can suck,
It is
actually.
screwing us up. So
That's a good point.
If Joe subscribed day one and he watched 20 of our videos in a row because they were all Pokemon Let's Plays, and then we posted a YouTube podcast on the 21st day, and he doesn't watch that, and then the second day we post a vlog and he doesn't watch that, but then we post a Pokemon Let's Play, he's not going to get that notification, and he might forget about us. Yeah,
that makes sense though, because of the fact that if you go into analytics, you can actually see what video gets you the most subs, stuff like that. So if you go to a video and you'll be like, oh, this video got me like 13 subs or whatever. Usually for me, that's live streams, because that's when a lot of people subscribe. So that's what I look at a lot of the time. But the point that I'm getting at here is if YouTube already has access to that kind of data initially, because if they're showing it to you, then YouTube has to have it as well, right? That's a safe assumption, basically. If they have that data already, then it wouldn't surprise me if they took that and were like, okay, we're only going to market the type of videos that you personally subscribed for. Because keep in mind, above all else, YouTube is trying to keep its viewers on the platform longer. That's the reason that's the reason they prioritize watch time. That's the reason they're trying to be like Netflix. That's the reason they're trying to get more money. They want to keep you on that site as long as possible. And if they have data saying that this person subscribed to this channel for this type of video, it's going to want to push that type of video more than anything else, I'm willing to bet. That's just a theory.
Here's the problem. Because every video is still unique, even though we have playlists, even though we have tags, whatnot. I mean, I'm sure they could figure this out in the future. I'm sure this is going to get better. Because every video is unique, even if that 23rd video is a Pokemon Let's Play and Joe would like that video, they're still not going to push that video out to him because he hasn't watched the last two videos.
Oh, so you think it's like a two-parter?
Yeah. It's
Not
like,
only...
he hasn't watched in a while, so he must be, and like, this is not specifics, this isn't like based on facts, but this is a scenario based on what's happening right now.
Sure.
Basically, it's because niche channels grow so fast, because niche channels are growing and because variety channels are not growing, is because people subscribe to a channel for a specific type of content, and when they don't get that type of content and they don't watch that type of video, they're not getting sent that person's content anymore.
You think the algorithm at just a certain point, once too many videos happen that they don't watch, gives up on that channel and tries? I
think so.
One?
Absolutely.
Probably.
Yeah.
Just to keep people on there longer, perhaps?
You know what? I think that's what happened to Speed Games.
You think?
I think so, because it was like, when I go back and look at the views, let me see back when it did okay. It's
have to
been
go
a
back
while.
a bit.
I do. I definitely do. I think it was like last summer. Last summer I did fine. I mean, I was getting like consistent views on a lot of stuff. But then even like some of the non-gaming content, like we talked about it before I made Snyder Productions, some of the non-gaming content wasn't getting as many views as I thought it should have.
Right, because you were
the subscriber base.
You were experimenting late in Sabijan Games to form some of the videos that would later be part of ZSP, but they didn't exactly do well on Sabijan Games to start out with, which is a bit of a shame because there was a lot of good videos there.
Right, and then we put them on ZSP, and then
they do a lot better.
They did a lot better.
All right. But keep in mind too, there were big gaps in between that where it was nothing but Binding of Isaac, to the point where, like, you know, that was the only thing coming out for a while, and then they started not doing well either. And then it was a thing where, like, I can't.
That is true. That is true. Yeah, I think that there's a few things that killed that channel. I think one of those things was oversaturation in content in general.
Sure.
But I also think that the variety killed it. The live streams, believe it or not, I think that the fluctuation in the size of the videos, or the length in the videos, I think that has something to do with it. I'll get into that in a second. Not necessarily, but I'll get into that in a second. Because that's very interesting. But it's weird, because what used to be such a strong thing for creators to be able to create whatever they wanted, whenever they wanted on a channel, worked really well, and now it's not.
Sure. And I mean, again, going back to that variety and niche episode, we always assumed that the algorithm probably favored niche stuff to begin with. But we didn't know all the details of it at the time, and this just sort of backs that up a bit more.
Exactly. So I'm gonna talk to. I'm trying to sit down with Roberto this week, actually, and talk to him more specifically about my channel, to find out, like, specifics.
Because sure. I'd love to hear a follow up.
I want to see, like, what I can do for my stuff moving forward as well, because I do a lot of wacky stuff even on ZSP in terms of variety, and I don't know if that's hurting it as well, and I think it very well could be. I don't know. I gotta see.
You just don't want to dig yourself back into that hole again after starting over.
Right. At the end of the day, I still do think creators should create whatever type of content they want to create.
Sure. I agree.
100%. Which is why I think that if you're going the variety route, I think the answer might be to create multiple channels.
Could.
That's what it seems like. What?
Or you accept the fact that you're not going to get as big normally, right? And if you're okay with posting videos and growing and learning, because I still think doing a variety channel is a great way to learn how to edit, how to make videos, how to
100%.
make different types of videos. It's a great personal growing experience. And I still, even knowing this, I'm still glad that all the weird and wacky shit I did on Blue Couch Productions, I did that because I've learned all this different software and stuff. It's just, you can't be expecting to get to the places a niche channel could ever get, you know? And if you're okay with that reality and you just want to create stuff, or if it's just a hobby, or if it's just for fun, do variety all the way, you know?
Right.
But it seems like more and more YouTube is going to keep prioritizing niche stuff above all else, more than anything.
Well, and I should point out that I do think that, like, from the very beginning of creating the channel, like, if you're still in the very beginning, you're still in the first year, if you're still, if you're still in the very first year of creating content in general, like, don't worry about don't have expectations. I don't think you should have expectations at all. I didn't my first, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years of doing content. It did take a while before I felt comfortable with my own content to have any expectations at all. And even still, I take those expectations that I have for myself with a grain of salt. I more or less want to make better content than anything.
Right. Less than doing well.
which is why I focused more on trying to get more freelance gigs so that I could pay bills, so that I can make content for a living, rather than have to work a job at BMW and not have the energy or the time to make videos at all.
Right. And that's the worst case scenario, really.
Right.
Interesting stuff.
Yeah. So, there's another dude named John Prosser. He runs a channel called Front Page Tech. It's a tech channel. He does like almost daily videos. He's pretty entertaining. 75,000 subscribers. I think he had 50,000 about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago. He's been growing pretty quickly lately, but he is in the same group with Roberto. Grown a lot in the last year, but he's been doing some experiments lately as well. He put on Twitter earlier today saying, "We started running a 7-day experiment to feed the algorithm, uploading daily content with a 90% retention rate." 90% is a lot.
That's a lot. That's very good.
The same week, I've seen evidence that YouTube tweaked the algorithm to put less weight on new content and started to surface older content. So that was interesting.
Surface older videos?
Yes.
Essentially? Huh.
Now, I noticed, and I need to double check this now because now I'm curious about this because I didn't think about this until just now. I got a notification earlier from a channel that I watch, and okay, it looks like he re-uploaded this video, so never mind. Or maybe maybe I watched this video from somebody else. Okay. Let me double check one last thing.
Okay.
I got a notification from Video Game Donkey a couple days ago.
Yeah.
From a video that was uploaded a week ago.
Weird.
That was really weird to me.
That's some weird shit. I've never had that before.
That's really weird.
That's really weird.
Not quite sure about the whole old content thing. Not going to complain about that. Personally, sure. Because if my old content gets some love on days that I don't upload something, like, that's cool. But I do want to look at what I think his exact experiment was, where he uploaded that daily content. And I think I know what it was. So this guy, like I said, he does like a daily tech show Monday through Friday.
Uh-huh.
But he also has a live stream once a week. And he has this like show based around it called Recycle Bin. And then he has like an Ask, like I have Ask Zach, he has Ask FPT. Does that every once in a while. He has like 76,000 subscribers. He gets 25 to 50,000 views a video for his main show, which is pretty good for that size. Completely.
I agree.
He mentioned on one of his podcasts that he recently did, which, by the way, if you're a fan of this podcast, I definitely recommend. I know I'm throwing a lot of stuff today. This is. I definitely recommend the Creator Mindset podcast. It is on all major platforms except for YouTube. He is doing it. There is an episode with Roberto Blake about variety channels are dead. So that I listened to that before this too.
I have to give it a listen myself. It's
pretty good. He's very harsh. He's kind of like a tough love type thing, but he doesn't monetize the podcast at all. Even though he very well could have, because he just wants to help creators. He's really, really cool guy in that sense. But his experiment recently was that he's moving live streams off of his channel, and he decided to do. Sorry, this indigestion, man.
Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out.
He did daily uploads for an entire week. They were all think they were all his main show except for one video being a live stream. And that the live stream didn't get as many views, which makes sense. But he was finding that after he did a live stream, the video that he uploaded next wasn't getting as many views as the video that he uploaded before the live stream. So you upload a video on Monday, it does okay, or it does well. You upload a video on Tuesday, it does well. You upload a video on Wednesday, it does well. You upload a video on Thursday, it doesn't do so well. You upload a video on Friday, and then it doesn't do as well. So any video that you don't do as well on automatically will trigger the next video upload to not do as well on either. Which is really weird.
I wonder how much of that is algorithm and how much of that is the content itself. Or it's probably a mix of both, I'd imagine. Well, you went through that example, right? And you listed video Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, like does well. Live stream does okay. Friday video doesn't do well. Well, that triggers two things in my head. Like, the algorithm didn't want it to do well, or it wanted a good video, or an interesting one.
That's fair.
All right. And I think we do have to keep that in mind at least a little bit, that as a creator, we like our own stuff a lot more than most people do.
That is fair.
You put a lot of work into it, and that makes sense, and that's valid and everything. But like we mentioned about expectations, you know, like sometimes we're willing to blame the algorithm before we blame our own video sometimes. We got to keep that in mind.
Yeah, that's fair. This guy, he's mentioned things like this in the past couple months. So it's not like a new experiment thing that he's been doing. So
they're repeatable.
Yeah, it does look to be repeatable. Now, again, I think you're 100% true. I mean, if you put out gold every single time, you shouldn't have this problem, right?
Right, a good video is a good video. YouTube will show it out regardless.
But now, on the other hand, if you do something that you know is going to not get as many views, well then you're almost biting yourself in the foot. However, now he mentioned on this podcast about this. He said, "No, I do have my Ask FPT show, and that is for my community. And I know that's not going to do as well, but I'm still going to upload it because that's for my community."
You're right,
and I wholeheartedly agree with that. Wholeheartedly understand that. Like, that's smart. Like, you should do that. That's what that's for. It's just interesting.
Yeah, I don't. What's going through my head right now is just the fact that, like, it sucks as a YouTuber so much to have to be in this perpetual rat race with an algorithm, right? We've gotten to the point now where, like, every week, every month, every year, every major YouTube change, you know, is always suspect to be like, oh, when did the algorithm change this time? What did YouTube not tell us about this time? Is this type of content okay anymore? Is this type of content not okay anymore? And it's an everyday real fear that could take your channel, no matter how good it is, and throw it in the shitter by tomorrow.
Yep.
If YouTube decides to flip a switch or change their mind or whatever. And, like, yes, that very much is an awful, shitty thing. And, you know, I hate having to deal with it. I hate having to be in the rat race, though. You know. That's my thing. I hate even having to, you know, participate with all these other channels, trying to figure it out and trying to find a cheat code to a game, trying to find a method to the madness. Right? There is no method. It's just madness the whole way through.
Yeah.
We're never going to find the exact thing. We're never going to be 100% right. And even if we are, what's to say YouTube doesn't change it again tomorrow and then we restart the whole thing over again? To me, it very much seems like a never-ending battle, or, in the best case scenario, a potential solution to a never-ending problem. You know?
I feel that. I agree with you. I do agree with you, and I 100% empathize with that, because obviously we're in the same boat. Obviously, it sucks. I mean, there's no getting around that.
Sure.
However, I think because of the position we're in, where we're uploading our content to a free platform, and I'm saying this not to like you personally, I'm saying this to like the audience, just so people understand, like this is how we have to think in order to be successful. I just wholeheartedly believe this. Because we're in the position where we're uploading our content to a free platform that isn't asking us to upload it, we're uploading this of our own free will. We want this to happen. We're doing this because we want to. There's no network paying us. We're not beholden to a contract to where we're on HBO or NBC or whatever. We have to keep playing the game, right? So I try to not look at it like it's like trying to find the cheat code. I try to look at it as just like we're playing the game, and that's just part of the game.
I agree with you in the sense that it's 100% YouTube's right to do that. It is their company. They are clearly out there doing it to make a profit, and that's good because YouTube hasn't made a profit in all of its existence. It's fair for YouTube to think that way, and it's very much like, you do you, fam. I just think we can control our own mindset, right? We can't control what 100%. YouTube's going to do. We can't control how they're going to change their platform or the algorithm. But we can definitely change our mindset around it, right?
Absolutely.
And I think personally, for me anyway, it's a bit healthier to not have to be in a constant state of how do I get this AI to agree with me and to get my shit seen by other people, as opposed to let me make a video that I enjoy making, and if it does well, it does well. Granted,
that's completely fair.
Granted, this isn't my job. I'm not paying bills through it. If I was, that might be a totally different scenario. And I 100% sympathize with other smaller channels who do make money through this and who do have to fight that battle. And I also acknowledge it could be plenty worse in any sort of TV contract, music contract, whatever. But we don't have to be beholden to it.
Agreed. I agree completely. 100%.
It is 100% something we can control. We can't control YouTube or the algorithm. We can definitely change our mindset around it. And if you want to adapt. Fine. We've preached adaptation many a time, and I still think it's super important. Sometimes, though, and at least listening to stories like this, it's very easy for me to get the mindset of, like, enough is enough. Right?
That's fair.
And that's not me quitting, and I'm still going to do YouTube and all that sort of fun stuff. But, like, where's the line drawn? When does it end? Will it ever end? Stuff like that really kind of gets on my nerves, or at the very least keeps me up at night when I probably shouldn't be.
Right. I think that's very relatable stance right there. I mean, I get it completely. I think the mindset that I have is like I want this. And I know you do too.
Yeah.
100%. And I know that this isn't going to happen overnight for either of us, right?
I've accepted that a long time ago.
Right, exactly. And I know that whatever route either of us takes, it's going to like be an uphill battle no matter what. I also know that if there's some kind of way that I can work with the algorithm instead of against it, that'd be dope. But with that being said, like, if you're completely cool with just ignoring it, or like parts of it that you don't completely understand, which like we don't completely understand like a lot of this, obviously, because like we're talking about it, we're debating about it. We like obviously. Where, even the people that work at YouTube don't understand it 100%. The nice thing is, if you create good content, if you create great content, and you continue to do it, and you continue to work on it, and you continue to work on, sharing your content and building your community and having a place for your community outside of YouTube, and building your social media platforms outside of YouTube, putting your content on other social media platforms, like doing all these other things that we've talked about on the podcast. what's eventually going to happen might not happen in the next year. It might not happen in the next 2 years. It could happen in 15, 20 years. We don't know. Like, YouTube could be dead. You could be making content on a different platform, and that's fine. Point is, like you're going to be successful. You just got to keep working.
Sure.
Right?
And I think that's that battle in particular of making better content and getting your stuff out to other places is a more manageable battle.
I agree.
Controllable, you know?
I agree. 100%.
Because you're out of the maze. You're out of the YouTube death grip. You can go and do other things on other platforms, and you can continue to work on your content and hope that it gets seen by other people through other ways. I mean, the internet's like a free place. You can do whatever the fuck you want.
Exactly.
Right? And that's dope, and that's really cool. For me, I'd rather personally fight that battle of being like, look, might not be a success on YouTube, might not be a success on Twitter, wherever. That doesn't matter. I'm a content creator first. And if I can get my shit seen no matter what platform it is, then like that's the goal above all else. To make good shit and to get it seen somewhere. Maybe not on YouTube, but somewhere else. Who knows?
I agree. I want to talk about some like other tangential stuff surrounding this. So going back to Gary Vee, he had on his main YouTube channel, he used to do the Ask Gary Vee show. He took it off of that channel, went straight to just Gary Vee vlog. It's basically just doing that most of the time. Put Ask Gary Vee on its own channel. So that's separated now.
It's a good channel.
Like, it is. It's great. He's got little clips on there, which do okay. His main show does fine within the context of how many subscribers there are. If he did like Joe Rogan does, he'd probably do better. He has like his own individual podcast clips place. But what also I think is interesting is H3H3 Productions.
Yeah.
They started a podcast, and instead of putting that on their main channel, they started their own individual channel for that. It's doing fantastic.
It's doing gangbusters, dude. I'm so glad. That's such a good podcast.
They're getting like 1 million views a piece on each individual episode. Basically,
there's a highlights channel now too that they made.
And there's a highlights channel which
was also doing pretty well.
Is also doing pretty good. I mean, some of these videos are getting million views or so. A couple of these got like over 5 million. Wow.
Yeah. That podcast. Whew.
Yeah. So it looks like there's a trend to move your podcast off your main channel.
Well, not just podcasts. Let's plays, live streams, anything not associated with your main channel, potentially.
Yeah. So I wanted to talk to you about that with this podcast.
Ooh, big boy.
Yeah.
Big boy jump. I thought you were going to bring up the Let's Play channel and how we were doing it there.
I do want to talk about that. Yeah, we will talk about that. But
that was a left hook I didn't expect.
Yeah.
You hit me out of left field. Okay.
So, here's the reason. Here's one of the reasons I mentioned this. By the way, asked Leah in the main Discord earlier today if she was cool with it. She said she was fine with it.
Sure. She'll watch us wherever.
Right. As long as it's on YouTube, right?
Right.
So,
not on Twitch.
So the last 4 videos I've uploaded to the main channel, because I've been so busy lately, are podcasts. And I really like podcasts. I like doing them fairly regularly. I think if you're going to do them, they should be regularly.
I agree.
The problem that I have found recently is that over the last couple of months even, because I've been doing so many of other things, like, what was it? I've done, 3 actually edited videos in the last month. There's an update video. The rest are podcasts and live streams. The Netflix comedy special doesn't count.
Come on.
And I mean, I think it's great. I love it. I mean, it's fine. And then I had 3 other edited videos at the beginning of the summer with an Infinity War review that I guess can count. I mean, there was a couple of other things, but my point is I've been doing so many live streams and podcasts lately over here. To the point where it's like most of my content is long form content. And I mean, none of it does that well because we know it's not going to do well because it's long form content. The people that come here for that come for that, which is why I do it. Right. And I like doing it. So I keep doing it. And, so originally I was thinking about taking the Nerdcast and just moving that off of YouTube, just making it audio only.
Yeah, we discussed that.
And then I was thinking about doing that for YouTube podcast as well, but then I was like, no, because we got the comment section. I really like having the comment section. Patient would kill me. So I don't want to do that. And then this whole variety channel thing came up recently, and I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. That's
super interesting. So I think with another reason I was thinking this is because the last video I uploaded was a week ago. That was the last episode of this podcast. If I upload this episode on the channel, that's 2 podcasts in a row. And I'm like, it's just aesthetically not pleasing to me, but
it's triggering me.
It's triggering me. My Asperger's.
Not the Asperger's, dude.
Not the Asperger's. So curious to see what you think.
I mean, part of what's going on in my head now is like, this is one of like 3,000 mini debates that you're about to have in your head with all these different shows you do, especially you.
It's one big debate. Right?
Right. But the thing is you're going to have to, rather than being like, okay, I'm going to go all in on niche stuff, right? Which is pretty much what you're saying. And you're going to split off each little bit.
Kind of, right?
But the thing that's interesting to me is all your shows, and I know all your shows, are not going to work on one channel alone. or better yet, you can't have a whole channel full of just this show. Let's Plays? Sure. Podcasts? Sure. Things like, Ask Zach a whole channel of? Probably couldn't.
Ask Zach would not be on its individual channel. It would be on Zack Snyder Productions.
So that's the thing.
About that one.
Right? You have all these different shows. How many of them deserve their own channel and their own variety? And how many of them deserve to stay on ZSP? And where do the rest go? Right? Do they move to IGTV? Do they move to Twitter? Like, yes, it's technically one big debate as far as the concept is concerned and all that sort of stuff. But with you specifically, I have a feeling you're going to have like 1,000 little mini ones about each particular show and series that you do.
Yeah, you're right.
So, as far as the YouTube podcast is concerned, I think that could work on its own channel, personally.
I think it could, too.
I think it's strong enough to. I think we have a good enough fan base for it, too. I think we still have a relatively decent-sized audience who doesn't even listen to this through YouTube. So we're not, losing anything there. And I know Patient will go to other places.
I know Calfro will, too.
Calfro will. Other people will. Exactly. So, we don't lose anything in particular. I think it'd be fine on another channel. But I'm just saying, it's like, you solve this one, right? And then where does everything else go after that?
I agree. I think the benefits... Okay, so when we talked about doing... When me and you were talking about Zack Snyder Productions a year ago...
Right.
We were talking about the benefits far outweighing the detriments, right?
Sure.
And it's like, when I think about another YouTube podcast being its own channel, I think about the benefits far outweighing the detriments.
I agree.
I think there are no detriments, actually.
Yeah.
I think, it being its own channel means that anybody that likes that podcast is completely subscribing to it like they would an actual podcast. They don't have to worry about it cluttering up any other kind of channel. We can make sure it's consistently there without it, without me having the issue of uploading only that in 2 weeks in a row and not having any other videos. And I think that's the case for all the podcasts that I have, personally speaking.
See, I don't know about the other ones though. That's the thing.
Okay.
Like, because with this one in particular, granted, we do have breaks on another YouTube podcast. We just had a huge one earlier. But like since then, we've been pretty consistent with a lot of our stuff. We've been getting videos out.
I think we could be super consistent with another YouTube podcast.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that won't be an issue. I think if we're sustaining a channel with just that one video a week, wouldn't even need to do anything else, it would probably do fine on its own. Other podcasts where scheduling issues come into play, where we're not guaranteed an episode's coming out, where it takes a while to even like debate the topic of, and where they're very much still new.
Nerdcast.
New in the sense of they don't have an audience, or new in the sense that it's a very brand new podcast. I'm not sure if moving it to another channel would change anything in particular with those.
So...
And I'm talking about movie night and Nerdcast specifically.
Right.
For all you at home.
So I think Nerdcast would be fine staying on this channel because it's nerd related.
Sure.
It's a roundtable podcast. It's
not
uploaded that frequently.
Right. You do it whenever you want.
It's almost like a treat to get it because you don't get it that often, but it's like the treat that your great aunt brought you that you didn't really want.
For my birthday, thanks.
Yeah. Thank you. Have you ever tried persimmons?
I'm not, no.
I don't even know what they are. I actually need to look this up because I was offered these and I tried them.
I don't know what the hell a persimmon is.
Let me tell you what. Persimmon is an edible fruit. It's from Asia, but there's a persimmon cake, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I work in a chapel at my college right now.
Yeah.
And on Sunday mornings at 10:30 a.m. every Sunday, there's a small little group of older people that come in that are known as the Quakers.
Oh boy.
Yeah, we have Quakers that come to this chapel to worship, do their little thing. And one of the guys that runs it, he offered me, he was like, we have some sweets. Would you like anything? I wasn't going to be rude. I was like, sure, I'll take whatever. I was like, sure. And he brought me, he's like, this is a little piece of persimmon cake and some coffee. And I was like, oh, thank you. And I tried it and I was like, yeah, this ain't for me.
It was pretty bad.
I didn't like it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Weird exotic fruit like that. You can never be too sure.
Tart. Yeah, it's very weird. Anyways, sorry.
Rainbow.
Nerdcast would be fine on here.
Okay.
Movie night. What I'm thinking about movie night, right?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I'll bring that up in a second.
Okay.
Like, I don't think Recap could stand on its own channel, right?
I think this is the channel for Recap.
I think it is too. I think having an entire channel dedicated to movies being recapped would be dumb.
Right.
Now, if I did an entire channel dedicated to TV show episodes and anime episodes being recapped, where it was like 3-minute videos that were like uploaded like twice a day, like in the future, that'd be fine.
Sure. That's
something that's sustainable. That's not happening anytime soon. That's something I want to do, but that'd be fine. Ask Zach saying on this channel, right?
Right. You can't make that its own
thing. Now, Nintendo the history. I don't know yet.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That could stand on its own channel, but can I please the algorithm enough to have
can
that
you make
out?
Enough of them in general?
Right. I think
with like Let's Plays and this podcast, you sit down, you record them, you're done, whatever, upload, done. Trying to do Nintendo history consistently by yourself on top of the shit you're already doing is a suicide mission.
Right.
I think.
Right. I agree. There are, like, there's a show called Pilot Season, like, that could easily be its own thing, but then I think that should stay here. I think that there's different shows on here that I have, but then I've also got, like, variety content on here, like the Szechuan sauce video, the Breath of the Wild videos, like the stuff that's completely personality based. That would obviously stay on here. I talked to Jay a little bit about this last night.
What he
for
said?
those who don't know about Jay the Zoomster, what I brought up was what I'm thinking is I kind of realized, like, you know how Gary Vaynerchuk, his like main goal in life is to like buy the New York Jets one day.
Sure.
Like that's his pinnacle like thing. I haven't really like figured out my thing until recently. I think I figured out what it is.
Oh boy.
Like, and we're talking about like
Long term.
20, 30, 40 years from now, right?
Yeah.
Like I want to own a production company, right?
That'd be kind of dope.
I want to be able to like produce videos, produce social media stuff, but also be able to like make a movie and, have like a movie production like studio and be able to like make a game or, fund, comic books or, be able to not only fund and produce and create the stuff that I want to do, but also be able to fund and produce and help create the things that my friends want to do and other small creators want to do and that kind of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's long-term shit, right? So what I'm thinking is Zack Snyder Productions, the YouTube channel, be like the rock that holds everything together.
Okay.
And so like almost not even expect this channel to grow. Except maybe with like the big like the Breath of the Wild type videos and that kind of stuff.
Right, the big boys.
But like movie night, like get to episode 10 and then push that on its own channel.
Oh, so have it be a testing ground.
Right, exactly.
Interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I was going to ask you in particular, the main question you would have to ask is be like, okay, if the Let's Plays get their own stuff, if the podcast gets their own stuff, if the series gets their own stuff, that's cool. What's the brand Zack Snyder Productions, like the Gary V brand is to Gary V, right?
Right.
So Gary V does daily vlogs. That's his thing, mainly. A couple of other like really edited videos, but that's mainly about it, right? And so if every one of these shows are going to get their own channel potentially in the future, hypothetically, it's all theory stuff anyway. What does the Zack Snyder Productions brand at that point become? Does it focus on recap? Does it focus on highly edited things? Is it nerd culture? Is it movies? Is it, like if it's not the variety thing anymore? I mean, granted, you could do the testing ground thing. I think that's kind of smart in general.
Yeah.
But, like it kind of still has to have a brand to it.
You're asking on a content level or you're asking as a person level?
Because
like Gary V. Well, I mean, that's fair. But like Gary V is like a CEO focused on buying other companies.
Sure.
Who also just happens to make content, right?
Mm-hmm. We could take it away from him if need be.
Okay, that's
if you
fair.
want other examples.
Yeah, I know. There's not many people that do that kind of thing.
Right. I mean, Game Grumps do their Let's Plays.
So like Game Grumps, right? Game Grumps is almost like a production company. They are a production company. They have their Let's Plays. They have Starbomb and Ninja Sex Party, kind of tangentially related. Mm-hmm. They have each of their individual people do their own thing. They have a touring service now, which is really dope.
Things like
they
Dream
do
Daddy.
Dream Daddy, like they've created a game. Aaron does voice acting. Like they all do all these different things.
Ross is working on Game Reverse and all that sort of stuff.
Right. So maybe like a Game Grump. Yeah, maybe that's like the people I need to be looking towards.
Sure. But then again, like it still goes back to the thing, like
but
if
it's
you want
still different, right?
If you want a rock channel, you got to have the show,
right?
You know. And I don't know, like if recap is that, if Nintendo the history is that, like, you know, I can't answer that question, obviously.
Right. It's and it's hard. It's hard because I've almost got a. It's similar to. I don't want to say like a PewDiePie situation. His is like purely personality based, right?
Right.
And I try to have mine be personality based, but then not all the time it's not, right?
Sure, it changes.
It does change, right? Quentin reviews. That's a good like comparison, I think.
Okay.
I would say that he's a variety channel, but in the nerd culture space.
Right.
But
you typically know what you're getting into when you watch a Quentin Reviews video.
Right. He's kind of got this format down.
Right. Going back to the rock thing. What's your rock? What's the format? What's the brand?
Yeah.
What's the big cheese? And before, you didn't even have to worry about that because it was just like, oh, variety, anything. Whatever pops in my head, that's the brand.
Exactly.
Cool. Done. And for me, it's the same thing. Like, oh, I want to do this. Cool. I want to do that. Cool. Whatever.
Done. Yeah.
The only thing that's constant in all of them is me and the people who watch it occasionally. And even then, not everybody does. And that's fine. I think it's smart to separate things into separate channels, but like, that's a lot more work to deal with. Not only running each channel, but figuring out what Zack Snyder Productions becomes on top of that.
It definitely is.
Right.
I agree. It definitely is. Which I mean, I'm obviously up for it, or else I wouldn't be discussing this, right?
Right. Obviously, yeah.
It's complicated. It's stuff that I kind of have to answer for myself, but it's stuff I want to talk about more because I need to
figure it out.
I need to talk about it, figure it out.
Fair enough. What's going through your head then?
It's complicated because I know that like we've already broken down that like certain things can exist on other platforms. By the way, I think live streams. I recently got a notification from Twitch saying that I've reached that third thing for the third goal for affiliate status.
Yo.
However, hold on, I didn't actually get it yet because I have to reach the first two because I haven't streamed in like a month.
Oh, what were the first two again? It was
that's cool.
Stream.
It's like stream 8 hours and stream 7 days, which is easy.
Or whatever.
I can do that. That's fine.
Right.
The third one was hard because it was like get 3 viewers consecutively or whatever in a month or where it was weird. 3 average viewers.
Right.
Yeah. I think I can reach that pretty easily by just doing Twitch.
Mm-hmm. Could work.
So I think I'm gonna start doing that. We'll see. Mainly because I think I think as a small streamer or as a small creator, I'm actually breaking up my audience over streaming bases. And I think it's hurting me rather than helping me.
That's a very question, mate.
I don't know. It's weird.
Streaming works for me pretty well because I just get most of everybody in there.
Right.
Or whatever. But like I do it a lot technically. So.
Right. And I think you started streaming a lot.
Right. That's sort of where the channel came up from.
Mm-hmm.
And I still mainly focus on YouTube and Mixer and Twitch sometimes on the side.
Mm-hmm.
It's different. Well, so what do we have so far? We have live streaming on Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
We have the podcast channel.
Because
we're both pretty agreeing on that. We got the Let's Play stuff.
Mm-hmm. Should we talk about the Let's Play stuff for the
let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and do that.
Audience?
Yeah. Go ahead.
So me and Aden and I, and Jay the Zoomster, avid person in the community, great friend of both of ours. All 3 have done Let's Plays in the past. almost like one of the very first things all three of us have ever done on YouTube, right?
Yep.
Very like cornerstones in our YouTube careers, you could say. But we've all since kind of broken away from it.
In one form or another, pretty much.
One form or another. Some accidentally, some on purpose. It's just kind of like a spectrum, but we also really like doing them. So we decided to do a group channel so that we can still do Let's Plays.
Yeah.
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, I do too. It should be out by the time this podcast episode is the thing.
Yeah, this episode comes out on... Well, this is coming out tomorrow.
Oh, so the channel trailer.
So it comes out
the 30th.
Tomorrow. Yeah. The channel trailer will be out today. The day you're listening to this, the first episode comes out tomorrow. So
yeah. We're pretty close
Lions
to
Honor Gaming. Really exciting. We've got about a month of content almost already pre-recorded with like 4 or 5 episodes, not quite there. The first week is already uploaded. So pretty great.
I agree. Super excited to finally launch that thing and see how it does.
As far as YouTube algorithm wise, I think it's great because like each of us only has like 2 to 3 videos to work on per week.
Mm-hmm.
And we're all pre-recording all this stuff really easily. And compared to doing 1 to 2 videos a day, this is easy.
Oh, yeah.
This is super easy.
Yeah, in the process of recording Yoshi's Island, SA2, and all the other series, I've really come to appreciate like how nice and easy this was just to get back into, even after not doing it for so long. It's just like, oh, yeah, we can just chill. All right, cool.
I've enjoyed it. I've spent some extra time editing these because I've enjoyed them. I've done some little social media posts. That's been fun. We got custom artwork for it, which is really cool.
Thumbnails looking dope. Got that branding on point.
Branding is I'm excited about it.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep it low. I'm being like, all right, expectations. It's a Let's Play channel. Calm down.
Yeah, I know.
It's a Let's Play channel. Let's not go crazy here.
We gotta have like 4 views per video.
It's a Let's Play channel in 2018, but like we've done a pretty good job of like getting it out there that this is going to be a thing, and we've hyped a few people up along the way.
Yeah.
For Let's Plays, which is crazy. We've hyped people over Let's Plays.
Yeah, we got some people excited about it, which is that's pretty crazy. I'm excited personally. I'm just excited to play video games again.
Sure.
I don't get to play video games unless I'm recording them or live streaming them.
I agree. And this to me was just very much like we finally found a way to get Let's Plays off the ground for what feels like a 2 or 3 year like debate between all three of us of being like, oh, I want to do Let's Plays, but I don't want to have only Let's Plays and all this other stuff. And now it's just like, yo, what if we just had a whole channel? Cool, done. Easy.
Well, just briefly, so for Jay, he found out he didn't really like doing solo Let's Plays that much.
Right.
But he liked doing co-commentary stuff, but it was hard for him to like find people to record with, and he enjoyed doing other stuff more, so he just kind of stopped doing them completely. Mm-hmm. For you, what was it for you?
I didn't like having them flood my channel for a while. Mm-hmm. I didn't want to do only that as much. I still like them and they do well, but I didn't want Blue Couch Productions just to be that.
Yeah. And then for me, I mean, I started a whole nother channel because my channel was flooded with Let's Plays.
Right.
And then quit Let's Plays because I would have rather spent my time making this new content.
Right. Yeah. But now here we are. Redemption Hour. The band's back together.
The best of both worlds. It's really great. I'm super excited. Like I can't contain my excitement for it. It's really great, actually.
Yeah, check it out when you can. Seriously, there's gonna be a lot of good shit. But that, to get back onto our little topic point thing here, I feel like that's a good example of like taking something that we've all wanted to do and actually like branching it off into something like worth watching, really. And like I feel like if you're gonna be doing that with podcasts and other stuff, this Let's Play channel will probably be a good example about how to like do that.
Absolutely.
Obviously, there's differences. Can't do a podcast every day, or maybe you could. I don't know. I don't know what you're planning. It's not all
That
group
is
commentated stuff.
fair.
But you'll figure it out.
That's fair. Okay, so I want to go through my playlist right quick
Okay.
while we're talking about this. Because I'm a crazy person. And I can't figure out shit on my own. Also, I gotta refix my playlist because they messed up. So when I created this channel,
15.
No, stop. Okay, I started playing video.
Do not play.
It's still playing a video. Holy shit. Mute the site. Okay. When I first started this channel, I started it with the intention of not doing Let's Plays, doing nerd culture stuff. That was the basis. And then I was like, I want to do variety, but my niche is nerd culture. I still believe that. YouTube podcast, unfortunately, while it does kind of fit in there, I do think that it doesn't fit in there well enough, and it can bring in people that are not going to enjoy the rest of the content.
Fair.
So there's that. All right, recap is like I just don't know.
It's the flagship, or it started out being that.
Right, it was the first series that I had started uploading regularly.
And there's more of them than there are anything, I'm pretty sure, at this point.
Except for this podcast.
Except for this podcast, fair enough.
Yeah. They do fairly well. But regardless of that, I'm not even going to think about like how they do. I still think if I'm thinking about this channel in terms of being a nerd culture channel, if I'm trying to niche it down into like specifics, I need to think about what Zack Snyder Productions is. And it has to be like my personality based stuff and anything that can't stand on its own. That's what it comes down to, really. I know that I'm not doing TV show and anime recaps on this channel anymore. I gave up on that. Because I didn't want to flood the channel with that kind of stuff. I felt like it was Let's Plays Part 2. Which is... It's weird because it's like... It's almost like you should be able to do daily uploads. On content that your subscribers will like. But because I have so many interests, I didn't want it to flood like the same type of content every other day, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's really weird. As Zach is staying on here, we've already talked about that.
Right.
Top 10s would stay on here, right? Like that wouldn't go anywhere.
If you did more.
If I did more. I do have a couple planned. That is in the books. That's what I did for a little while. That's all I did for a little while. Holy crap.
I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think. And I could be wrong here.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly you like doing a lot.
Yeah.
Clearly you want stuff to be separated.
Mm-hmm.
As far as DSP is concerned,
Mm-hmm.
I think you need to go with like a 3-pillar approach type of deal.
Yeah.
Where you have your main pillar, your main boy, your main show, whatever you want that to be, untitled, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Pillar number 2 or show number 2. And then pillar number 3, the smallest one, ASAC. Right there. ASAC is right there. It's staying there. It'll be fine. It'll be like a smaller thing that comes out every once in a while.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm not concerned with ASAC. That's going to happen because that's for the community.
That's pillar number 3, right? So if we're talking about the tech channel you mentioned earlier, we have tech show, ask whoever, live stream. And you're not doing live streams.
Right.
So for you, main show, second show, ask that.
Here's the problem that I have.
If you do more than 3, I think that's when it gets to the point of saturation and confusion.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. So then here's my question to you.
Okay.
Do I do Ask Zach recap Nintendo the History? Do Nintendo the History once every month, recap once every 2 weeks, have an Ask Zach once a month? Like, that's 4 videos a month. I can possibly manage that. Call that a day. That's Zack Snyder Productions. But then forego other projects like why is Sonic so polarizing and the Breath of the Wild stuff and other little ideas that I have. Or do I just upload those too?
Well, I think it depends a little bit. Obviously, Q&A is a inherently own separate style of video, right?
Yeah.
But maybe you could look at it from the perspective of those other 2 pillars. Don't necessarily have to be show title 1 and show title 2. It could just be gaming and movies. And then whatever fits into those 2 categories fits into those 2 pillars, right? Stuff
That's
like that,
fair.
you know? And granted, if you want to
fair.
brand it under a show, do that. You know, if you have to.
Right.
But, you know. But that way it's like, okay, what fits into the movie branch? You know, recaps. What fits into the gaming stuff, the Sonic stuff, the Nintendo the History thing. Now, granted, you'd have to balance the 2.
Right.
You know, that's tough,
Absolutely.
obviously. But, like, technically, that still fits in the 3-pillar thing, if we're going by that. Or maybe you could have all your gaming videos be called Zach's Game Corner and then title of the video and then done. Or, you know, movie time with Zach and then, like, put recap under there or, you know, Netflix shows under there or whatever.
That's a good point. No, that's an absolutely good point. Could be recaps, and there could be recap extras, which is just like Young Sheldon is genius or whatever, you know, like whatever.
No. It technically all still fits under the same
video essay
pillar thing.
Right. That's fair. Yeah. And then the little meme videos and stuff, just put those on social media.
Yeah, make it smaller content. Or put it in between your bigger videos. I don't know. You want to like a cutaway?
Actually, that's actually a great idea. Yeah.
Peter, remember the time we ate spaghetti? Cut.
I'm also like, I've also been thinking about how to make my videos almost more show-like. Because while I love the video essay approach, while I love highly edited stuff, and while I still want to do that every once in a while, I think that for YouTube channels, I think to be successful and to continue to grow and whatnot, I have to be able to do something that's sustainable to where I don't get burnt out.
Right.
And if I'm trying to do every video super edited all the time, that's hard. And I've tried. I have tried that, and it's really hard. And when you have a lot of content you want to do, it's just as difficult to put aside content because your creative ambitions are higher than the time you have.
Very valid. Very valid.
So I am working on two things. I'm working on making my content more personality based rather than focusing on the thing so much. So like recap is based off of the movies, But I focus way too much on the movie and the plot, and that's boring, and I've realized that. So I'm trying to make those more, maybe a little bit shorter, more personality based, that kind of stuff. But I'm also working on how can I. Well, I love the way, not even the Breath of the Wild tutorial. Actually, I love the way that video turned out. Maybe even the Nintendo the Histories. Even, I think that those could be bi-weekly shows if I wasn't such a perfectionist and was like, all right, half of this video is going to be me sitting in front of a camera, being a little bit more personable, talking about this like history and really going in depth about that.
Mm-hmm.
But and still having the production quality, right? Like, I don't want this to be garbage. I don't want my content to like lose anything from trying to put out videos quicker. But I do want to aim to not be as perfectionist, not be as fancy, if that makes sense.
That's fair. And I mean, one way you could do more of a show atmosphere is just to get yourself sort of a set. Early in Blue Couch Productions, I'm sure you know this, a lot of the shows I had in particular were very similar. You know, like Questions on the Couch and Midnight Vlogs are very similar shows in the sense that all they do is talk in front of a camera about certain things, right? Whether it's a topic or whether I'm answering questions or whatever, like that's what makes it unique. But when we're talking about a video in particular, you also have to make things visually unique. And so what really helped with Midnight Vlogs in particular was having my own corner of the room with posters and having me stand up. So that visually looked different than me sitting on a couch in the other corner of the room. So that, you know, they kind of look like different shows, right? They had like different setups and things like that. I don't mean like go out there and like buy 1,000 posters and a desk and like lights and all that shit, you know, whatever. Of course not. Small things to visually distinguish each show from each other to where you're not having to sit at a desk for 90% of your videos. Maybe like film stuff outside, use your Google Pixel camera, whatever, find a weird spot, have that be the set of Zach's anime titty extravaganza. I don't know. You know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
That'll help it make more show-like, I feel.
That's true. I do have a couple of bookshelves and I can move around, and so that's, I could probably do some different things in that sense. I think another thing is wording. I have a show called Pilot Season where I look at the first episode of a TV show, see if it holds up. I have a new video that's about Big Bang Theory, which I think is going to be really good. I might just label that as recap. There's no reason why it couldn't be labeled as recap, actually. But we'll see.
Yeah. There'd be a little confusion, but you never know.
There could. And then I've done like these 2 videos where I've like reviewed every episode of a season of a TV show in like 10 words or less. That could be its own channel.
Could.
Easily. I don't know if I have the energy to do that right now. So I think that's going to be a back burner project.
Oops.
I think some of these ideas could be projects that I work on, and then I get like 10 videos done, and then I put out the channel, and then I release them weekly.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Who knows?
Right. Well, yeah. Like I got to figure that kind of stuff out in the long run. Yeah, that's the problems of variety versus niche, guys.
Yeah, I've definitely throughout the course of this episode really, I not only tried to help you with your stuff, but question where I'm at as well.
Right.
You know,
it's tough. Do you want to run through any of your stuff? How you feeling on your end?
I mean,
because I know you're very much still on the variety mindset.
Yeah, a good bit of it.
I get, And that's the thing, right? Like, I'm still variety mindset. I'm just
trying to put it in a niche.
Putting it in different places. Right.
In a niche area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I got it pulled up here.
Yeah.
I mean, Let's Plays are obvious where that's going, so I don't even need to bring that up.
Yeah, that's been such an easy fix, man.
It really is. It's really nice and easy.
It's super nice. Oh, I'm so happy.
It's going over here now, and that's it.
It's Subfusion Games. I never have to worry about that channel ever again.
Yeah, it was a big battle to go through.
Oh,
hypothetically, I guess, if I was doing the same thing with my stuff, I would probably do it where monthly battle league would be its own thing.
Yeah.
Because I think I could support that, and I had other video ideas for that could have gone into its own thing.
I think you could too.
Monthly battle league could be easy fix.
Because that would be, you would probably do that every month, wouldn't you? Or like once every couple months or something.
Well, if it was its own channel, I'd have to do it more often, but
right,
you know, stuff like that. Blue Couch Plays we already went over. Questions on the Couch would still stay here.
Absolutely,
for sure. And they would probably still be weekly, but it would be like the Saturday or Sunday show, like very end of the week kind of deal, like that. Midnight Vlogs is interesting in the fact that, like, I don't know if you've noticed this, but they've kind of just turned into regular Blue Couch Productions videos.
They have. Mm-hmm.
So, and the best example of that, I think personally, is if you go back and look at E3 2017, you'll notice that was under the Midnight Vlog moniker. But this year has just simply turned into the Blue Couch Productions thing. Older videos have become that. Newer videos have become that. Midnight Vlogs has almost vanished entirely. And, you know, granted, they're two very similar shows, right? It's just now it's under a different branding and look. So I'm not even...
Here's a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Has that changed anything in terms of views? Or do you know? You might not know the answer to this question.
I'm not entirely sure myself.
Okay.
I don't think. I haven't done them in 8 months.
Right. It's been a while since you've done. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Okay.
There's not. Yeah. It pretty much.
Also, there's been so much change over the last 8 months. I don't know what would. That's the problem with, like, smaller channels. It's like we can't do too much experimentation.
Yeah, without
because so many different. Well, and not even that, but like we like a lot more live things kind of come up with smaller channels because you're not as beholden to YouTube as some bigger channels are, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, you don't post a video that day, it's okay. But some channels, if they don't post a video that day, that's loss in money, right?
Yeah, so none of these Midnight Vlogs have particularly higher views than what I'm doing now.
Let's Play Dark Souls 1 got 105 views?
That whole series did well. That whole series did well, unfortunately.
Shit.
Yeah, all these Midnight Vlogs, the only one that has over 100 was the very first one I did.
Okay.
And the rest of these are, at most, go up to 40 and stop there.
Okay.
So.
I was just curious.
It's the same type of video anyway. I don't mind doing them there. Showdown Saturdays I stopped doing just in general. I probably won't bring that back either. Really, then, I guess the only thing left at that point would be streams.
Yeah.
So.
Which you can do anywhere.
I can do anywhere, yeah.
Yeah.
But it with the Let's Plays being gone, you know, because Let's Plays and the Blue Couch Prod videos were like the two main things, especially after Midnight Vlogs sort of left, and streams is sort of the third thing. You know, like if I made Monthly Battle League its own separate thing, you could argue at that point that I'm probably a niche channel there.
Yeah, I think you are.
At that point.
Think with Let's Plays gone, even with streams there, I think you're a niche channel.
Sure, just because there's been more Blue Couch Prod regular videos because Midnight Vlogs left, because Let's Plays left. If Monthly
Right.
Battle League went that way, I'd be 100% there.
You're, I mean, you're very much I sit in front of the camera and I talk about this topic, and your community likes that.
Right.
I like that from you. Yeah.
Sure.
Um.
And then questions on the couch would still stay there, and streams would still stay there.
Yeah. Not saying I wouldn't like some dope edited content from you, but I mean, like what you're doing is good too.
Well, you'll get like a top 10 every once in a while, but even that's still under the Blue Couch Productions like book, right?
Right.
Even that's technically not a new show, for being real with ourselves here. It's just you either get the non-edited Blue Couch Prod videos or the highly edited ones. It depends now.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to none of the Midnight Vlogs were edited, and if you did see a Blue Couch Prod video, it probably would be.
Exactly.
Which I don't know how people feel about that branding wise. I don't know if I haven't had any complaints about it personally. I'm sure people have noticed it, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, so I haven't had any complaints. But I do know that like Jay said offhandedly a couple weeks ago, he said like it's been a while since I watched a Zach video. Just because there hadn't been anything I've put out that's like interested him recently. The Breath of the Wild video was like the last thing he put out. Maybe they asked Zach, but that was after a little while, after it had been already uploaded for like a week or something. And like he misses some of the other content I do. I know that like I don't know, it's weird.
It's very
super weird.
It's very much a weird thing. I think we're slowly but surely taking steps toward niche channels.
Yeah, I think so too.
Subconsciously or consciously, we're definitely moving toward that way. I think this Let's Play channel is part of it. I think if the podcasts have their own channel, that'll be another part of it. I think if Monthly Battle League gets big enough and it could be its own thing, could be part of it. In a year or so, it might be like just it is at that point. It just is a niche channel at that point.
Yeah. Now I think one of my last questions I can think of to you at the moment is, after going niche, do you think video should be private on this channel? Or do you think it should be fine? Because, in one sense, at that point, it really doesn't affect the algorithm as much as it just affects the look of the channel.
Right. It's like, do you want it to look nice? You can, but it really doesn't change anything.
I don't think it does, too.
Yeah.
I did just realize that the little late night spaghetti short film thing that I've done, that little hamburger meat in there, like it looked good when I ate it. It doesn't look so good right here.
That whole spaghetti looked kind of ugly, BH.
It really did.
It's
like
not
a good looking
bit
picture.
of a mess, bit of like a canned food mess.
So it's not a good picture. So I'm privating that. I just noticed that, right? I'm just straight up, but, it's because like I like my top 5 Skyrims, right?
Yeah. And
I like there's videos that I've done that are not in the main series that I really like that I've done. I don't want to get away from those. I still want to talk to Roberto about this.
Yeah,
see what he has to say about it.
He probably has a lot more insight.
I'll bring that up on the podcast.
Dude's a smart cookie. He'll figure it out.
He is.
I think a lot of it too is just going to depend on like, we could do a lot of the solo channel stuff, but ultimately if it doesn't do well, you know, we might just be back at the drawing table a couple months later with another podcast just like this, right? If the Let's Play channel bombs, the podcast channel bombs, if CSP drops off because you weren't doing variety stuff, which I don't think it will. I think people will watch whatever. If it has you in it, it has you in it. They'll watch it.
Right.
But, you know, just hypothetically, worst case scenario, we could be right back to where we are. But we'll have to see. We don't know yet. A lot of it is just very much experimental stuff that hasn't really come to fruition yet.
I think so too.
But if it does well, it does well, and then it'll be like, oh, we can do more. Cool.
Yeah.
If it's done, you know, nobody's watching the channel, they can just, go the way of the Speech Games and no one can talk about it.
Yeah. I do think if I was to take what I'm thinking of now, and I mean, like I mentioned earlier, this is about to be my 1 year anniversary of this channel, so that's dope. I think second year is great for experimenting.
I agree.
100%. So that's the plan. I'm gonna kind of just experiment hardcore, see what I can do, with all kinds of things. And I kind of did that first year too, so why not keep going with it? I like experimenting,
trying new things.
And so I'm figuring out what really works, right? I want to reverse engineer a couple other big YouTubers, some people that I really look up to, some people that I kind of relate to, people like Quentin Reviews, people like Ralph the Movie Maker, PewDiePie. I feel like I've already kind of
figured out,
reverse engineered, and unfortunately, like, that doesn't help at all. But he's great. He's like figured out so many things, and he's just been kind of completely just kind of self-sufficient and intuitive to exactly what his needs were, and it's worked for him, which is pretty cool.
It's a lot of self-reflection type stuff usually. Like, what do you want? What do you want to do above all else?
Absolutely.
Whether or not it works, that's a whole different ballgame.
Then there's also the Nerd Writer.
Yeah.
That kind of channel.
I love those guys.
Those kind of channels. Nerd Writer, Austin McConnell, they kind of do the similar types of it's variety. But they gotta kind of have a style to them.
Format, yeah.
So, and a format. So maybe I bring a format to all my videos. I don't know. I gotta figure that out. Yeah. Thanks for talking to me about it.
It's been fun. It's been real.
Yeah.
Reminds me a lot of the conversation we had about before you made ZSP. That kind of deal.
Almost a year ago.
Yeah. Only that wasn't a podcast, and this one is. So you guys got to listen to the banter, the back and forth, the fun stuff.
Real shit.
No real answers today either, which is refreshing.
Yeah. Definite answer. YouTube podcast, another YouTube podcast. It's on YouTube channel.
Yay!
It's also on Facebook.
Boo.
I am putting it on Facebook. I don't know if it'll be on it will not be on Facebook like today that you're listening to this, but it will be on Facebook soon.
Right.
I'm putting it on there. I've got a page, but I had to re-download all the episodes. That takes a while, but I finally did that before this call. So there's that. So it will be everywhere.
Which
is cool. How do you feel about having the gaming channel stuff on Facebook?
That'd be okay.
As far as full videos. Okay. Because they now have, so originally when you created a page on Facebook, you could have, there's usually some kind of category you put it under.
Mm-hmm.
So celebrity or band member or some kind of some kind of weird title or whatever. Now they have video creator and gaming video creator. This is last 2 months type thing. Yeah. So I figure give it a shot. And when I was experimenting with editing Let's Plays differently about 6 months ago, and I posted them on Facebook, did extremely well.
Yeah, be good.
As far as views go, I don't know about comments. I don't think we got any, but whatever. But yeah, I think it's cool. Might bring in some other viewers. I don't know.
Be dope.
Yeah. Okay. And TubeBuddy has this little thing where you can just kind of, as long as you have the original video that you uploaded, you can just hit a button on the YouTube thing and it'll automatically send all of the video information to Facebook. So it's pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
Makes things easier.
Big ol' bitty.
Do you have anything else you want to talk about?
I'm pretty good, actually.
Sweet.
Got everything I wanted to cover. It was just a bit of a back and forth combo, really.
Yeah. It was good. I like this.
It's nice.
Hopefully
you all at home gleaned something from it.
Hopefully you got something from it. I hope so. This is more of like a for us type thing. More of a for me type thing than anything. TBH. But hopefully Aden got something out of it. Hopefully you guys got something out of it. Next week we'll be back with the regular stuff. We'll be reading comments from last episode and this episode. We'll be doing the whole another YouTube on your week on YouTube stuff. We'll probably talk about this past weekend next week. I won't talk about as much because I just talked about some of it.
Sure.
Or the bulk of it, honestly, because I didn't upload a video. And if you're not already subscribed to the podcast, wherever you listen to it, or if you want to listen to us anywhere else, go ahead and do that. If you just started listening to us, you want to follow us on social medias, check that shit out. If you want to see us play video games and act a fool out of ourselves, check out the Lives on our Gaming channel. I think it's going to be pretty dope.
It'll be a good time, I promise.
It'll be fun. Super hyped about it. We have like 15 likes on this page now on Facebook.
Ooh.
So we're getting there. 11. Okay, 11. Still pretty good. 12.
King Kunta.
Hype. Pretty hype. 13. I've been Zach.
I've been Aden.
We want to thank you for listening to this episode of another YouTube podcast.
Bye.
Bye.